This is either the absolute worst time or the best time for me to be starting a YouTube channel. And by the end of this video, you're gonna know why. But for now, stick with me for a second. So for the last three and a half years now, I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel. Specifically, I knew I wanted to do something that had to do with the outdoors, mountains. Hiking has been a really huge part of my life for the last decade or so now. And if you can't tell already, right behind me here, I live in the Alps. Actually, I get to live specifically in the German Alps, and I love everything about it. The mountains have just been a huge part of my life, and I wanted to figure out how to share that better with others. But to do something that I wasn't sure what I wanted that to look like. And so I've kind of just sat on this idea for a long time and been unsure how to go about it. And then, kind of while that's been going on in my head as this one day I'll do that thing, I've also felt fairly stuck for the last year, knowing I want to make a change in my life and a shift and being unsure what that looks like. And one of the biggest realizations that I've come to is that perfectionism is holding me back in so many ways. Year after year after year, I'm setting the same goals over and over again that I know I can achieve, that don't really have any real sense of failure, quote unquote, to them. I'm just doing the same old. And while it's worked, I also know that I'm not getting to where I want to go. And for me, I wanted the mountains to kind of help propel me in the direction of being less scared of failure, more willing to try new things. And yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. And also, with that being said, this past summer, I did my first trail race. It was very spontaneous. I hadn't run in years pretty much, but it was amazing and I immediately got hooked. And so I knew that I want trail running to become kind of like this new thing that I use for goal setting. And then add into that mix, I knew that I wanted to start a YouTube channel finally. And I decided that I want kind of this journey I'm on with learning to overcome perfectionism, or not maybe overcome it, but learn to be less of a perfectionist, be a recovering perfectionist. And so, with that being said, third thing that's been on my mind is because one of my big fears and struggles around perfectionism is the fact that I don't allow myself to fail, or at least I've never really failed publicly. I wanted that to be an aspect of things. I really want to be more okay with failing and realize that's just part of life, and to be able to see that journey for myself, and also learn to, in some ways, I don't know if enjoy is the right word, but I'm going to say enjoy the journey of failing, of learning, and knowing that this is a way that I can get myself unstuck. So here we are, and I'm super stoked about it. But at the same time, back to why this could be the absolute worst time for me to start this channel, or the best. Speaking of perfectionism, I don't know if I've already failed before I even started, and this is why. So today I went to the doctor. I've been dealing with some niggles, some pain, some issues. If you run, you might know what that's like. I thought, it's fine. I'm still in my 20s. I'm invincible. Turns out I might not be. And I have to go get an x-ray next week because I might have fractured my foot. So, have I failed my lofty running goals before they've even begun? If I haven't mentioned already, this year I actually want to be running my first ever ultra marathon. Specifically, I have a 70K in mind that I'm hoping to do in the Swiss Alps in September. So, is this going to work out? I don't know. Or am I going to have to learn to pivot, and to pivot publicly? We'll see. But that's why I'm here. Needless to say, I'm super stoked about this. And if you can relate in any way to the fear of failure, perfectionism, holding yourself back from trying new things, whether that's in day-to-day life or in the outdoors in the mountains, feel free to follow along. I'm super stoked to be sharing this journey with you guys, and also just opening myself up to the world. I'm fairly introverted and I'm excited to see where this takes me. So follow along with that. And also, I guess, kind of on another side note, I'm terrified of putting myself out there on YouTube. I'm sure many people are, just because, let's face it, talking to the camera is not normal. It does not feel natural, and I am struggling right now. So I'm also excited to learn and grow through that. And it's just one more way of kind of allowing myself to put myself out there before being like great at doing something. So yeah, follow along if you want to see my journey of deconstructing perfectionism, spending time in the mountains and specifically the Alps, and I'm pumped.